Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and today I'm taking a look at a small card game from Oink Games. This is Flotsam Fight. This small card game feels pretty traditional in some ways. You will have a hand of cards. You are trying to discard that entire hand of cards by playing it out to the table legally. At some point you won't be able to play anymore, so you have to pass, and then you're going to get another chance at continuing to discard your cards. You do that a few times in the game. Whoever has the highest score at the end, usually by going out first, is going to win the whole thing. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'll show you what comes in here, how it all works together, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you what I think of it. The objective of the game is to get rid of all of your cards and therefore score some victory points represented over here on these tokens. So we've got here the different lifeboats, and everybody is dealt a hand of 10 or 9 cards depending on the number of players. And you are going to, on your turn, play a card out or possibly pass, because you either cannot play or choose not to play. So we've got here a game set up for 4 players. So I would go ahead and take a look at my hand of cards. These all have numbers, as you can see. They go up quite high. This is a 96, is my highest card. And I'm going to go ahead and play one out somewhere. So let's say I want to play out this 6 right here. It tells me in this column right next to it, and also below the number over here, in which of these spots I can play this card. In this case, it can go into the 3 spot or into the 6 spot. And I would take a look at the rest of my cards and figure out where I might want to put it. I think I'll put it in the 3 spot. So I would do that. That's my play. The next player would go. They'll take a look at their hand of cards, and they are going to play this one in the 7 spot, let's say. And again, that's because it says 7 can be played on the 7 column, whereas some of the other ones, for example, the 56 here, says it can be played on the 4, the 7, and the 8. So this player is going to go ahead and play one. They'll take a look. They're going to play the 20 on the, let's say the 5 spot. That sounds good. You're just picking numbers that leaves you opportunities to play later on. There are 3 spots filled now. In a game, you can only have as many of these spots going as there are players. So as soon as one more is played into, let's say I'm going to go ahead and play into the 10. This player would, anyway. There are now 4 spots that are filled. We can only add on to those spots. We can no longer, this round anyway, play into the 4, the 6, the 8, or the 9 there. And every time we add a card, the value of the new card must be higher than the previous one. So I'm going to go ahead and play this 15. It can go into the 3 or the 5. It can no longer go into the 5 because there's a 20 there already, so I'll put it over my previous 6. This continues, like I said, until someone passes. They'll be out of the rest of the round. Let's see here. This can go into the 3. Put that right there. Once someone passes, they are out of the play for a moment. Momentarily, they'll be done playing cards. When everyone has passed except one player, we are going to stop, and we are going to remove all of the cards that are in play, set them aside, and then, beginning from the player who last played a card effectively, they'll start playing cards again, meaning opening up all the spots and being able to select 4 new places. If you are ever left with a single card, by the way, even if everyone else has passed, you can still play the last one. But normally, if everyone but one player has passed, you can no longer play. You continue doing this until someone is fully out of cards. You do not replenish your hand in this game. If you are fully out of cards, then we are going to give out some victory points and set up for the next round, okay? Whoever is out of cards completely is going to get 2 victory points, as shown on that token there. And then everyone's going to compare of the cards they have left in their hand. They are going to take out their highest numbered card and show that. Of those selected, the lowest is going to get a victory point, 1. The highest, meaning you ended up holding the highest card at the table, you are going to lose 1 victory point. And then we shuffle this all up again, and we play another round, and then lastly, a 3rd round. And that's all there is to it. So it's all about controlling the cards you play, being careful not to be caught with very high cards in your hand if you feel like someone is about to go out, and also selecting which of these spots you open up and unlock in order to allow you more flexibility later on in the hand. So there you go. Let's go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of it. Alright, so there it is. Let's talk about it. Okay, I'm going to start with thematic ties. Is the theme original? Is it well implemented into the game? This is actually something that's been republished. It originally had a lemming theme in which the lemmings were moving, and so they followed each other to their new abodes. And so the theme is completely, pasted on here. I don't even think it makes a whole ton of sense anyway. I don't really like the theme, and I don't think it does the game any favors, really. The aesthetics, that's component quality and artwork, I do think those are good. The component quality is very nice. Cards are linen finished. They are bright. They're easy to read. And then the few cardboard components are large enough and well made enough that I don't have a problem with how much they're going to be, handled or setting up the board, anything like that. The game looks good on the table and it's easy to manipulate. So I like that. Replayability. Is the game going to give you new things to discover from session to session? Things like that. I can't see myself coming back to this one very often. The game does not give you a ton of, things to discover after the first time you've played it. You've kind of seen everything. You understand how the game works. You know the things to do and not do, what you want to be avoiding, It's fairly easy to understand once you've played once or twice which cards are a good idea to play and which ones you shouldn't play yet. So, no, I don't think the replayability is really there. It's just, it's too small of a design to really keep me, anyway, coming back to the game, Game length. Is it interesting the whole time? Does it get repetitive? Anything like that? It's all right. I mean, I think three rounds seems fine. Sometimes that can extend itself a little bit, but it's always 3 rounds, but sometimes you get that cleanup throughout, through the round more than once. But it's rare. So, yeah, I don't really have a problem with the game with the length of the game. I think it's fine. Each round is largely the same, though. I mean, really, it is exactly the same. So I could see that someone feeling that's a little bit repetitive. If you're someone who is used to trick-taking games, for example, this will be fine. You do 3 hands, basically, and each one is exactly the same. If you are someone that likes a lot of evolution in your games, maybe you'll feel like, okay, why am I doing the same thing 3 times in a row? So, there's that. Ease of play. Is the game fiddly? Are there any extraneous rules? Is it easy to teach? Things like that. It's pretty easy to teach. I don't like that one rule about, if you have a single card left in your hand and everyone else has passed, then you can still play the one. I know why it's in there. It's to keep, if I have a single card, it's just to keep every player from going, oh, you have a single card? Pass, pass, pass. I get it. If I could still play that card, then I would. If you do pass with a single card, meaning when everyone does that, I cannot play that last one, then you draw 2 more, so there's that. That's fine, it's not a problem. It's just, it's one or 2 little extra rules that are easy to forget to teach, and kind of break the simplicity and the beauty of a game. Not a major problem, though. Other than that, it's a pretty easy game to play and teach. It's very simple. The numbers everything is displayed right there on your card, so it's not a problem. It's one that you could even use to teach math if you wanted to do it that way, right? Because it'll be, the numbers on the cards are the numbers that are multiples of that card, so of that number. That works, You could use it as a teaching tool in some ways. Overall, I think it's easy to play. It's a little filler, so it's not a problem. Lastly, tactics and strategy. Does the game give you interesting things to discover? Options that are tactically rich. I don't think there are that many, and the ones that are there are fairly evident, I would say. You have a handful of cards. You'll be able to very quickly scan the numbers that show up more frequently on your cards. You should play into those from your lowest to your highest, unless something else changes, right? Unless someone over there is rushing the end of the game. Well, then get rid of your high cards. You don't want to be stuck with a high card if someone else does go out, But overall, the game, I wouldn't say it plays itself, but it's close. It's a very simple little card game. Not a ton here to discover after I've played 3 times and then I play it again and I go, I haven't seen this happen before. That's neat. That's not going to happen. Overall, Oink games are usually very quirky games, that can work for or against them. You know, they have a lot of people who like Oink games find them charming because they are quirky and interesting and sort of do a very simple thing in a roundabout, strange way. That's cool. This is actually a fairly traditional design, I would say, for them. It's a game that feels like just a small, in many ways, classic card game that can be good for, again, folks who keep finding Oink games to be strange and just sort of off-putting and bizarre. But I think the target audience here, the people who enjoy Oink games, are going to play this one and not find particularly innovative or Oink-like, you know, qualities to this one. So we'll see how it does. For me, it's just an okay little card game. Nothing wrong with it, really. But there are a lot of little okay card games out there, and this one, while fun to play and a simple activity to enjoy, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it over, you know, a slew of other small card games. So there you go. That's Flotsam Fight. Thanks for checking this out with me, folks. I'm going to see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com.